My name is Ed O'Connell. I'm a Colombian missionary priest and I've been working in Peru for many years. My present parish is Our Lady of the Missions. It's a working class area in the district of San Martin de Porres. And for a while I've had an inclination to take some of the young people from there to an area where there's extreme poverty. And about 6 years ago I came on a visit to San Benito here in Lomas de Caraballo and saw the needs of the families here. So I opted to form a small non-government organisation called Wami Wasi, Women's Place, and through that help the people here with their health difficulties, their family violence, AVESIS sometimes, and also recently, in the last 2 years now, helping mums who's work long hours to help their children who have been abandoned for many hours during the daytime. So with our Wami Wasi team of a teacher, social worker, psychologist and obstetrician, we interviewed the mums, saw their needs and worked out the 5 major risks the children suffer from. That could affect their education, if they are looking after younger brothers and sisters, having possible accidents when alone at home, suffering from malnutrition, the lack of the possibility of having normal recreation because looking after the youngsters. So we're tackling those problems, setting up little workshops, therapy workshops on a Saturday. Also we're working here with a local parish here with their little library so that the children come here in the afternoon and study. This project also will help the women of the township to be future leaders of their community, as well as giving our young professional women in Wami Wasi the chance to work alongside the poor. And we also have 2 other little projects linked to this big project, that are the young people from the parish of Our Lady of the Missions coming out and doing voluntary work at the weekends, and also university students through the Institute of Bartolomé las Casas, are also students at universities who can, through their contact with these communities in poverty, can maybe direct their future profession to be of use to the people in need of Peru.
The brightness of love radiates hope. Marcelina has lived in San Benito for 15 years, and she has been by herself for the last 3 years. She has 4 children, and in order to provide food for them, she works as a cleaner, washes clothes, and sells sweets.
At that time, I was working as a cleaner in a private school, and when I returned home, I found my son was already in hospital. It seems a car hit him when he was playing and knocked him down. The driver drove off quickly. Because of this, my little boy has suffered injuries. I don't know if he will ever get back to normal and talk like a normal child. Now, because of what happened, I'm traumatized and I don't want to leave the children anymore in case something else happens to them.
Many of the women in San Benito have a similar story to Marcelina. Around 35 of the mothers in San Benito have sole responsibility for their families, and most have not finished primary education and live with the worry of leaving their children at home alone while they go out to work.
Warmiwasi has been working here in San Benito since 2005. We are here because San Benito is one of the poorest areas of Lima, in the district of Caraballo, and it still does not have the full range of basic services, especially tap water supply and drainage. San Benito has a population of around 12,000 inhabitants, and is part of the area known as Lomas de Caraballo, a biodiverse area of land which has been damaged by informal mining, rubbish dumping, and the very presence of the township itself.
Since 2012, Warmiwasi has been running the project, promoting safe homes and communities for children at risk, whose mothers work in unsatisfactory conditions. From the experience of previous years of work in San Benito, the Warmiwasi professionals have found that the most vulnerable group is that of the children of mothers who spend many hours out at work and have to leave their children at home alone, since in many cases this is the option of least risk, as they have to feed and clothe their children. In the investigation carried out by Warmiwasi, the children were found to be exposed to the following risks. A. An accident at home. B. malnutrition through poor diet. C. Failure at school because of lack of control over their attendance and not having help with homework at home. D. Not having time and a place to play as part of their personal development, especially the girls who play the role of little mothers with their younger siblings. And E. Risk of violence, physical, psychological, and/or sexual abuse. In response to this situation, Warmiwasi has devised a plan of work with 4 main focus areas. One of these is working directly with the children, creating a space for them. Kusiwasi is the program which gives children, aged from 0 to 3 years old, a place to socialize where the mothers can interact with their children and the children are encouraged to play. During the week, there are workshops in the Warmiwasi Center for the children of the mother identified by the project. These workshops aim to help the children to recognize their own skills, strengthen their personal resources, talk about their own situation, come up with answers, and so develop the ability to deal with adverse situations, and so look after themselves better. The work carried out directly with the working mothers is key, and it is done mostly through home visits in order to understand their particular situations. Also, it is a support to the mothers to help them come up with ways to improve their own ability to protect their children. Many of the mothers do not trust anyone, given what they have experienced in life, so it is important to gain their confidence and be closely involved with them. They are visited regularly by the Warmiwasi team, and in the most sensitive cases, they are given emotional support to help them face the difficulties which they and their children have.
I would like someone to help me, for justice to be done, to catch this man so that he will not be able to do the same things to other children. Maybe this man is doing the same things somewhere else. Maybe wherever he goes, he does the same things to children, and perhaps no one reports him to the police. I would like justice to be done. I would like you to help me. That's what I would like.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Luz Marlene Figueroa.
4 women from the community have been trained as acompañantes, community support volunteers. These women visit the mothers and encourage them to participate. They go to see them if they need extra support and accompany some of the cases of domestic violence through the official legal process. Through their work in the community, they also identify new cases of children at risk. When the issue is about the lives of children in the community itself needs to be involved in working towards improving their living conditions. Warmiwasi has developed a strategy to get the community involved in looking after the children. Community organizations such as the chapel, the community soup kitchen, the township leaders, and the local municipality office, called the MUNA, Advocate for Women, Children, and Adolescents, were invited to participate by providing spaces for the children to use. A few weeks later, agreement was reached on these spaces, and we now have spaces for libraries and play area, all for the children. An arrangement has been made to keep public spaces free for children to use one afternoon a month. This initiative was launched with a march for the International Day of Play. The children have set up My Homework Club in the libraries. The refurbishment of the chapel library was possible thanks to the support of the volunteers from Instituto Bartolomé de las Casas and Nuestra Señora de las Misiones parish. In these spaces, the children feel comfortable, welcome, and safe. This means the professionals from Warmiwasi can interact with them and be aware of any signs of violence which they may have experienced. The volunteer mothers who support the clubs and the play area provide the children with encouragement and security. For this reason, the working mothers are very happy with the support that their children get in the homework clubs.
The best review for the project has been that many of the working mothers whose children take part have told their friends and neighbors about it, and gradually more mothers are coming to ask if their children can join. The manager of the local municipality has got to hear about the project and is now talking to us about the possibility of opening up even more spaces. We had originally planned to set up one this year, and probably there'll be 4 in a couple of months. So thanks to the demand from the children and their mothers, the local organizations, which until now has been slow to act, are looking forward to see which mothers can help and who can do the refurbishment of a building so that more children can be provided for.
The fourth focus area, and no less important, is the work with public institutions. All of the project's initiatives deal with problems affecting children, and so need to be sustainable in the future. For this reason, it is necessary to have alliances with public institutions. An ongoing communication forum has been set up with the involvement of local schools, the health center, police station, the local council, the Ministry for Women, the Ministry for Education, and other public institutions and other NGOs, along with Warmiwasi. We're working with all of these to support families and to raise awareness of the risks to the children. Progress is being made to accept new initiatives and put them into action as soon as possible. The work never stops, and even though there are many urgent needs, there is a lot of hope now in every child, every woman, and every family who joins the project. The Warmiwasi team of professionals are increasingly committed to their work. They have to adjust their working hours to suit the times when they can find the women and the children at home. The community is responding to the urgent call to ensure that the children of mothers who often work in unsatisfactory conditions could have the opportunity to lead a dignified, risk-free, and healthy life. The task isn't easy, but the work has begun. When the children overcome their shyness and begin to share their lives, then their happiness and the brightness of their affection radiates hope, and this touches us all.
The only thing I will suggest will be for my little boy to continue in the project and get specialist help. I will like this. I would like to see my son talking like the other children who can talk well, and see him develop normally like any other child and not feel bad.